It's Chase to the Checkered, featuring the NASCAR Winston Racing Series from Jennerstown Speedway. Chase to the Checkered is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Nelson along with Steve Richard, and welcome to this week's program. On today's show, you'll see twin 35s for the John Auto Parts Pure Later Late Models that took place on Saturday evening, June 26th. In addition to those two features, we'll also be looking at highlights for the AC Delco Pro stocks, Steel Street stocks, and Integra Bank Pure stocks. Steve, get that. Do you have a snare drum?
The man on a mission is Tom Erickson. 2 wins in a row here at Jennerstown. Tonight, he could make it 4 in a row if he's so inclined. Of course, we have our other field of drivers, including the likes of Steve Pellis, Glenn Galt, Charging Charlie Cragen. And we would like to take this opportunity to recognize and talk about a man very important here at Jennerstown Speedway, and that is the track founder, Piney Lasky.
Yes, without a doubt.
And he underwent some reconstructive surgery in the hospital this past week. We understand everything is going well, and we hope to see his smiling face and his cowboy hat back here at Jennerstown real soon.
You bet. We'll be looking forward to that. Get well soon, Piney. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back with all the NASCAR Winston Racing Series track wars right after these messages.
Recently, an object was sighted.
It was big, bigger than big.
Huge, huge, large, astronomically big.
Big would be an understatement.
Very big, huge.
Oh, God, big, huge.
When it arrives, you better not be alone. Bigfoot.
Pizza Hut!
From Pizza Hut. 2 square feet of pizza, 21 slices, just $10.99 for up to 3 toppings. It's a legendary value. Bigfoot from Pizza Hut. The biggest pizza you can get delivered.
Saturday, AC Delco presents the NASCAR Winston Racing Series at Jennerstown Speedway. See the John Auto Parts Pure Later Late Models, AC Delco Pro stocks, Steel Street stocks, and Integra Bank Pure stocks on Jennerstown's ultra-quick half-mile asphalt oval. Gate 7 to 4, late model time trials at 6:30, and racing at 7 p.m. It's edge-of-the-seat excitement with children 12 and under admitted to grandstand seating absolutely free, and those 13 through 17 at special student pricing. Remember, this Saturday, 7 p.m., AC Delco presents the NASCAR Winston Racing Series at Jennerstown Speedway.
New Stanton Auto Body. For over 25 years, the professional reconditioner for major auto manufacturers now offers its expert service to you. From major body repair to minor or complete detail work, our highly skilled and experienced staff will have your car or truck looking and driving like new. New Stanton Auto Body uses only original manufacturer's parts and supplies. Always quality parts, complete attention to detail, all at affordable prices. New Stanton Auto Body, Waltz Mill Road, New Stanton.
Welcome back to the first of twin 35s for the John Auto Parts Pure Later Late Model machines. 25 of them out there ready to do battle at speeds up to 120 mile an hour in the straightaways, and we post up the first 3 rows and a lot of talent behind them.
Galt, Pellis, Cragen, and check this out, Tim Ice missing an Iceman Series race in Berlin, Michigan this week, back in the 4th row, and Mike, on the front row, couple of rookies. We're going to have to watch the start of this race very, very closely. Hold on to your hats.
You mentioned Tim Ice missing that Iceman Series race up in Michigan. That's because he's fighting it out for track points, and with 2 features counting for track points tonight, he wanted to make it right here a commitment this evening. Now, we had a problem there. The 34 Rainy Burke having problems coming up to speed, but things shuffle out there. We're still green flag racing, and the 68 of Brad Cole taking the lead spot as Mark Catone battles with the rest of the field. Cole in a black automobile, that's a rented ride for this weekend from the Rick Jock stables. As he continues leading, Mark Catone has his hands busy with the steering wheel holding off all these other drivers.
But as we come down the back straight, we focus our attention on the leader. It continues to be Brad Cole. And here comes the heavy traffic behind him. We're looking at Tiger, Tom Erickson, and Barry Audi making the pass on Mark Catone to assume the 2nd and 3rd place positions as the field continues to work its way around the track. All that heavy traffic stacked up behind him with Cragen, Galt, Pellis. Just actually nowhere to go right now, and a good battle shaping up for 2nd place. We're looking at Barry Audi. He gets on the underside of Tom Erickson, who's won here the last 2 weeks. We're going to move on to the event. It's lap 6. Let's take it to the call.
Audi tries the low side down the back straightaway. It's a drag race for the point position. Into turns 3 and 4. Cole working up on the high side. Audi down low. They wrestle out of turn 4. Wheel to wheel, side by side. This drag race down the front straightaway. Cole hangs onto it by a half a car length. Into 1 and 2, slides up high. Audi comes right down to the low side, making the groove stick for him. On the back straightaway, and Cole comes right back up on him. Look at this, race fans. Cole trying to hang on to that outside. Audi working the low side, though. Has to handle it appears to be. Out of turn 4 and breaks through for the lead position. Barry Audi establishing the point position, trying to make it a third win at the Laurel Highlands Oval. But it's time to go on. We're going to move right here. Lap 28, it's a battle for third. And here's Tim Ice, who's desperately fighting in track points with Steve Pellis. And sandwiched between those two drivers is the only three-time winner, Charlie Cragen, in the 93 season. Now, all of a sudden, watch this, Steve. Down the front straight, here we go. A spin by Kennedy and almost disastrous results with the 7 of Alan Shawless.
Hey, what we'll do is we're going to pick up the action again, and we're going to actually stop the action right there. There's Alan Shawless in the green number 7 car, threading the needle literally at 100 miles an hour between the wall and Kennedy's car, who basically was stopped almost at that point.
It's time to move on in the event, though. This is the last lap, and it's a late race battle among the top 3 positions. Look at Erickson out there in the 36 with Charlie Cragen trying desperately to close on him. But watch when we pan back with our cameras. There's Barry Audi. The commanding lead he had has shrunk up at the end, but he still takes it by 5 car lengths over Erickson, who beats out Cragen at the finish.
There's our top 5, and that tight race between Steve Pellis and Tim Ice continues. Keep in mind, Mike, we have another race coming up a little bit later on this evening between these gentlemen.
And Audi with his 3rd visit to victory lane equaling Cragen. They'll both be out there for looking for honors. Who can be there with the most feature wins in 93. Hey, AC Dog Pro Stock feature, before we get into it, we had a heat race crash. Watch this. Getting crossed up, Mark Roberts, and then the 07 to Jeff Dunbar and the 26 Arsenberger get together. Rapid Robert Arsenberger hammers the outside retaining wall, and yet he was able to join this field as we post the top 3 rows.
All of those drivers fine, we're happy to say, and there is, to look at the front 3 row, Tim Spisak and Jeff Stewart on the pole as the field comes around for the green flag.
They'll be going 25 circuits in this event. Timothy Spisak on the point. We'll bring him around. On the outside is Jeff Stewart. He breaks to the point position with the Super Sport Power 92 Thunderbird machine as Spisak holds the low side.
Spisak making that low line work to his advantage, makes the pass and assumes the lead position, but we had an accident. Look at this. The 2 cars that we saw in the heat race, Bob Arsenberger and Mark Roberts, unfortunately get together again into the wall. Mark Roberts broke a radiator hose and collected Bob Arsenberger. They both meet the wall again, so we have an immediate restart. And since there are no laps completed in the record book, we're going to do a double file, and it's Tim Spisak who again jumps out to the point position. Kelly Shawless working the low line, and some problems on the back straight as we had some cars a little squirrely coming out of the turns, but it is still Spisak on the point. Here comes Kelly Shawless, battle for 2nd place, and they're kind of jammed up there, Mike. Let's hope they can work their way through the straight kind of clean.
Well, you know, the impressive thing is Spisak, after not being here for a couple of weeks, getting up there to the point. Now we move on in the event. It's the halfway point of this race, and watch this battle for 2nd. The 8 of Bob Sprout-Kossel goes to the low side of Shawless, but look, Spisak, after leading and commanding this race, has broken at the halfway point. He distanced everybody in this field, so it changes everything. This battle for 2nd now becomes the battle for the lead. And the Beckwith Machinery Caterpillar, number 8 Oldsmobile, as Sprout-Kossel breaks through to the low side for the point position.
Kelly Shawless seeing his first feature win in the Pro Stocks pass him by in the form of the number 8 of Bob Kossel. Let's move on in the event. We're near the end. 2 laps to go. Battle for 3rd place. It's intense. Let's go to the call.
Oh, Delano trying to pull it out of the bag of tricks. Down the back straightaway on the outside of Dunbar. They work into turns 3 and 4. Delano loves to work the outside of this track, but he's running out of time in real estate. That battle for 3rd rages on. The white flag, 1 second remaining. Into turns 1 and 2. Ron Delano Jr. with a never performance from Audi in 62, making it stick. But perhaps his move made too late. He continues to struggle for 3rd. Less than a half a lap remaining. From smashes last week, trying to make smiles. Delano battles for 3rd, but the win goes to Bob Sprout-Kossel.
A fired-up driver waves to the fans, and a happy crew of the Beckwith Machinery Caterpillar, number 8 of Bob Sprout-Kossel and car owner Paul Zorzi. Ron Delano getting past Jeff Dunbar at the finish for 3rd.
Into victory lane. Again, happy Bob. Well, with that wave, we know Sprout-Kossel very happy with that win in the AC Delco Pro Stock main event. We'll be back with a lot more racing right after this.
Do you want a career that's in demand? Consider training as an automotive technician. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, demand is rising for skilled automotive technicians. National education centers can train you to become part of this growing field. You'll learn how to diagnose and repair today's complex mechanical and electronic automotive systems. Everything you need to get started as an automotive technician. This is a great career. Call NEC's Vail Technical Institute campus today. Call 1-800-722-7337. 1-800-722-7337. Call now.
Start your weekend on the right track. Motordrome Speedway. There's racing every Friday night at Motordrome, just off exit 23 of Interstate 70, Smithton. Racing starts at 8 p.m., but come early for the hot laps. Catch NASCAR Winston Racing Series action with drivers threading the needle at breathtaking speeds with 4 exciting divisions. It's a great way to spend Friday night with the family. So start your weekend on the right track this Friday with Motordrome Speedway, Smithton.
New Stanton Auto Body. For over 25 years, the professional reconditioner for major auto manufacturers now offers its expert service to you. From major body repair to minor or complete detail work, our highly skilled and experienced staff will have your car or truck looking and driving like new. New Stanton Auto Body uses only original manufacturer's parts and supplies. Always quality parts, complete attention to detail, all at affordable prices. New Stanton Auto Body, Waltz Mill Road, New Stanton.
We're back with, let me see if I get this microphone to do this right. Thunder and Lightning Division. Well, before we get started with their feature, watch what happened to Heat Race. Brian Audie getting together with Carl Trevera. Bam! Into the outside retaining wall. He checks the bumper. See that spring shootout? A wild night for him. He actually had to jump in another automobile as we get set to start this feature.
On the pole, looking for his first career win, Tony Hirsch in the number 97 car. We should also point out that Brian Audie is in the number 76 car. That's the Mike Heminger backup car that Bill Audie's been driving as of late. And as the field comes out of turn 4, looking for the green flag from Ron Bright, it will be up to Tony Hirsch to get the field underway. They come up to speed, and off the start, it's Dave Wilt jumping to the point position. Let's go to the call.
Into 1 and 2, Dave Wilt holds on to the lead. Here's the battle for second place position, 97. Fraser's plumbing and heating machine up. Tony Hirsch goes to the low side of Mike Hollywood Heminger. Heminger wipes off the lenses of the thick black frames and says, I want in this big picture show. Here comes the 73 Mark Berkey. He dives to the low side of that 22 bomb. They touch out of 4, and we continue green flag racing. Oh my, Steve, have we ever had a race with these cars where they don't bang into each other? It's on in the event. This is still the lead battle. Dave Wilt holds on to it with the Haas stake, and see how Ziegler Chevrolet number 3 down to the low side comes the Fraser's Plumbing and Heating 97 of Tony Hirsch trying to make that move on the low line, and Mike Hollywood Heminger in there. But look at this, the Ford of Bakersfield, Pennsylvania's Tony Hirsch goes into the lead in search for a career first as Wilt will settle back into the second place position.
Almost as look as though Wilt developed a little bit of a handling problem there, and that was the only opportunity that Hirsch needed because Wilt comes right back up on Hirsch. He's trying to find a line. As we jump ahead a bit in the race, just 2 laps remaining, it is still Tony Hirsch holding the point position, and it's still Dave Wilt trying to find that line, make any kind of move high or low that he can to make the pass. Mike Heminger just kind of sitting back there waiting for a mistake to be made. Maybe he thinks, I can get around both of these guys. Not much time left. Things are really getting hot. Let's go to the call.
Someone call up Mr. Polaroid and tell him to get the camera ready for the finish line. The white flag, 1 circuit remaining. Into turns 1 and 2. Hirsch trying for the career first win. Dave Wilt applying the pressure. Oh, Hirsch in the middle groove. Guards his line low down the back straight. Dave Wilt running out of time. He says, hello, how do you do? This time around, Tony Hirsch and Dave Wilt out of turn 4. Wilt goes to the low side, and the struggle for the lead. Tony Hirsch with a career first. The hearts would be pounding with excitement, but there was more drama to unfold in this event. Tony Hirsch did not pass post-race inspection the car that is on the problem with the carburetor plate, so he was disqualified. We bump everybody up 1 spot, so Dave Wilt ends up taking the win in a Steel Street Stock 20 Circuit main.
Mike, let's take time out for a race break.
This race break is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza.
You know, racing here at Jennerstown has become a real family affair for a number of our competitors, from fathers and sons, brothers and sisters, cousins, nephews and uncles, and we thought you might like to meet some of them. Let's start off by meeting father and son Hemingers. Dad Larry Lee, who drives one of our Integra Bank Pure Stocks, and son Michael, who runs with the Steel Street Stocks. Kind of an interesting twist here. It's son Michael who was interested in racing first, and Dad Larry's kind of following in his son's footsteps. Then there's the Shawless clan from Somerset, featuring a trio of competitors. Brother and sister Kelly and Mitzi, they race in the Pro Stock and Pure Stock divisions respectively, while their cousin Alan pilots one of Jennerstown's John Auto Parts Purelator late models. And we have the uncle-nephew combination of Denny and Boyd Wingard from Johnstown. They're regular weekly competitors here at the Laurel Highlands Oval. Uncle Denny in his AC Delco Pro Stock, and nephew Boyd in his Street Stock. And we have brothers here at Jennerstown. Barry and Brian Audie each have visited victory lane in their careers at Jennerstown. Barry in his number 75 late model, and Brian in his number, 75 Street Stock. And finally, The brothers Kokenauer, or the Terminators as they're affectionately called, Chris and Scott. Both run in the Pure Stock division, and both, Chris and Scott, are relatively new to the racing game, but never let it be said that either is shy in their chase to the checkered. And not only is it a family affair for our competitors, but it's also a family affair for a lot of our spectators, like my son Luke here and I. We never miss the races. Nice shoes.
This race break has been brought to you by Pizza Hut. Sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza.
Recently, an object was sighted.
It was big. Bigger than big. Huge, huge, large, astronomically big.
Big would be an understatement.
Very big. Huge. Oh, God. Big. Huge.
When it arrives, you better not be alone. Bigfoot.
Pizza Hut.
From Pizza Hut. 2 square feet of pizza, 21 slices, just $10.99 for up to 3 toppings. It's a legendary value. Bigfoot from Pizza Hut. The biggest pizza you can get delivered.
Start your weekend on the right track. Motordrome Speedway. There's racing every Friday night at Motordrome, just off exit 23 of Interstate 70, Smithton. Racing starts at 8 p.m., but come early for the hot laps. Catch NASCAR Winston Racing Series action with drivers threading the needle at breathtaking speeds with 4 exciting divisions. It's a great way to spend Friday night with the family. So start your weekend on the right track this Friday with Motordrome Speedway, Smithton.
Do you want a career that's in demand? Consider training as an automotive technician. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, demand is rising for skilled automotive technicians. National education centers can train you to become part of this growing field. You'll learn how to diagnose and repair today's complex mechanical and electronic automotive systems. Everything you need to get started as an automotive technician. This is a great career. Call NEC's Vail Technical Institute campus today. Call 1-800-722-7337. 1-800-722-7337. Call now.
Back with the Integra Bank Pure Stocks, our fireworks division. And Steve, did you ever put some T-bones on the grill around 4th of July? Watch what happens with a T-bone job here out of turn 2. Courtney Block, bam, bam. 2 hits. No one was injured, but a very dramatic situation. And believe it or not, Block was able to limp the car into the pits. It is, look at this, Mitzi Shalis on the point, one of our top female pilots in this 15th Circuit affair.
Also, Robin Ribble in the front row. He's looking for a career first win here in Jennerstown also. And we have a number of our other feature winners from previous weeks back in the middle of the field. They're going to have to work their way up to the point if they have any hopes of winning this race. But it is up to Mitzi Shalis in the 77 to bring the field up to speed. She does just that, and she assumes the point position as they come down the front straight. Let's go right into the live call.
Oh, Mabel, keep close to the refrigerator door handle. We're trying to make it 3 wide in the fireworks division. Down the back straightaway. Oh, look at Scott Kokenar into the wall. I'm cuckoo for Kokenar, the Terminites say. And Scott's trying to hang on to it. And that he does as we continue green flag racing. Cuckoo for Kokenar? Holy smokes. Anyway, look at this battle in the middle of the pack. 3 wide there down the front straight. But Mitzi Shalis is still ahead in this game as we move on to the halfway point. Here's Mitzi at this point position. She's been leading all these laps. And Scott Mitchell begins to make the move on the outside.
And it's Scott Mitchell looking for his 4th win in 93 here at Jennerstown, working that high line on Mitzi Shalis. But Mitzi's not going to give up the position that easily. She holds her own ground. But eventually, as the 2 cars exit turns 3 and 4, it is Mitchell assuming the point position. And here comes the Terminator, Chris Kokenauer. He looks for a window 2, comes up behind Mitzi Shalis. And they get very close together, headed into turn 1. And oh no, they collect each other. Mitzi spins out. And because of that contact, Chris Kokenauer will be sent to the back of the field for some rough driving, and we're going to pick the action back up. We're coming around for the white flag lap. Scott Mitchell is still in the lead. This is the battle for what else? 2nd place, Dave Brunel in the number 1 car, and he's being chased down by Mark Corden. And as these 3 cars work on the final lap of this 15-lap main for the Integra Bank Pure Stocks, Dave Brunel continues to hold on to the 2nd place position, but here is Scott Mitchell.
Mitchell with less than a half a lap to go. Dan Campbell's getting into that battle for 2nd. But for Mitchell on the Ron's Autosil number 20, a former pit crew member for Ron Delano Jr., the AC Delca Pro Stock runner, it is Mitchell that takes the checkered for win number 4 at the Laurel Highlands Oval.
Mike, check out this top 5. Everybody's last names ends in ELL with exception of Mark Corden's.
He's the odd man out, so to speak, in 3rd place.
And back to victory lane with Scott Mitchell in his 4th trip to victory lane in the Integra Bank Pure Stock division. Mike, let's move on to our last late model event.
35 circuits for the John Auto Parts Pure Later late model machines, and on the pole is Cole. Brad Cole, that is. Outside of him, Ken Himmler Jr.
Barry Oddie, who won our first late model feature, he's buried back there in the 5th row, so he has his work cut out for him if he hopes to win. But good starting positions for Rick Miller, Tom Erickson, Bobby Henry, and Glenn Gauld in rows 2 and 3 as the field comes up to speed, Mike.
Starter Ron Brutt displays the green, and look at Ken Himmler Jr. in the Haas Estate and Seahouse machine jump to the outside position of the front row to the point position as Brad King Cole has his hands full fighting off this battle for second down the back straight as they squirrel back and forth. But it is Tiger Tom Erickson trying to go to the outside of that black 68 machine, and everybody else is jammed behind him. Oh, you've got the purple Power Flow 19 of Rick Miller, the high side of him, Glenn Gauld. Barry Audie's caught up in the thick of things, the 77 of Bobby Henry. They're all out there battling, and look at Gauld. He makes the move in the American title in just 32 to the 3rd place position.
Brad Cole's car definitely having some handling problems. As we look at Erickson in 2nd place, Gault in 3rd. But look at this field stacked up behind Cole. We have Audie and Miller directly behind him, charging Charlie Craig, and also back there with Steve Pellis trying to work their way up through the field. Moving ahead in the event now, we're on lap 7. This is a battle for the lead. Tom Erickson trying desperately to pull up alongside of the number 87 of Kenny Himmler Jr. Two cars that, when they're out front, run very, very well.
The Belle Vernon, Pennsylvania pilot will try the low side of East Freedom, Pennsylvania's Ken Himmler Jr. They go into 3 and 4. The cars start scraping, getting together, and watch this, Steve. They cross in front of the whole field, but unbelievably, everybody scatters and gets by. Here's the replay from the top press box camera. You can see how dramatic this is. Steve Pellis, just inches away from the 36 automobile.
What we're going to do is pick the action back up. We've restarted the race, and we're less than a lap back into actual racing highlights. We have Erickson and Himmler at the back of the field, but this is the battle for the lead with Glenn Gauld on the point. Let's go to the call.
Look at this battle for the lead. Audie on the low side of Gauld. And here's Pellis. Oh, it goes denies Audie. Pellis gets through for a second. What a battle we got going. Pellis goes to the outside of Gauld. And it's havoc down the front straight. All the groove's taken up.
The pot's just beginning to boil, and it's recipe for excitement. Let's go back to the call again.
Charging Charlie Cragen in it. You take a pick, race fans. We throw it up on a bingo board. Who can win this one? Gauld on the point position, and the pressure from the rest of the field.
All 4 of these cars have made the trip to victory lane already in 1993. Glenn Gauld looking for his 2nd win, but the likes of Audie, the likes of Cragen, and of Pellis saying, no way, this is my night in victory lane. But it is Gauld who continues to hold the point position. The pressure is almost unbearable behind him, but if anybody is up to the challenge of holding off these other veteran pilots, it is Gauld. Let's go right back to the call.
Here comes Stevie Pellis. He dives to the low side on Gauld. It's a battle with the 2 classic orange cars. In the 3 and 4, Gauld and Pellis wheel to wheel, side by side, on a turn 4 in a battle for the lead. Pellis straight through. In the 1 and 2, Cragen tries it. Charlie Cragen trying to break through. He goes into 2nd place position.
Oh, the scenario has changed completely, Steve. But you want to see something interesting? Let's go ahead in this event. Just 2 laps later, here we are. And it's a battle for the lead between Pellis and Cragen. They dive into 3 and 4. Here's the call.
Pellis and Cragen battle for the lead. Out of 4. Pellis on the outside. Cragen right there. Wheel to wheel once again. Into 1 and 2. Pellis doesn't want to give it up. Cragen says, I'm doing it all. And here comes Pellis back. Unbelievable down the back straight. Into 3 and 4. Stevie Pellis trying to deny it to Cragen. Gauld gets back into it. Down the front straight away. Pellis denies him.
Pellis, for now, establishes a solid lead, but we're going to move on the event. We're on lap 24, and look at this. Didn't we just see this a little while ago? This Pellis on the outside, Cragen on the inside, door panel to door panel. Cragen manages to pull up, actually assume just a noticeable lead, but Steve Pellis riding that high groove, keeps his RPMs up. Car doesn't appear to be handling too well, very close, and across the start-finish line, it's Pellis with the slight advantage. Mike, there's a sense of urgency between these 2 cars right now. Cragen needs wins for the Northeast region. Pellis needs not only region points as well, but also track points. But we had an incident on lap 27. Rick Warrior, Kenny Himmler get together. The plot thickens. We're going to restart the whole race. And with these 2 guys on front, here we go again, Mike.
Here we go again. What about those 2? It seems like when Pellis establishes a lead, a couple laps later, Cragen comes right up to challenge, and he makes a serious bid. They drag race down the front straight with all the pressure behind. Here's the final call.
into 1 and 2. Phillips on the high side. Cragen with the door to the louver. Here's the drag race once again. Next time around, there will be 2 laps remaining. Glenn Galt becoming part of the picture. Oh, here comes Cragen again. Oh, 2 laps remaining, race fans. Down the front straightaway. Pillis tries to hold that groove. And here comes Cragen. Cragen breaking through. Down the back straightaway. Pillis drags up to him. They work in 3 and 4. Race fans, the white flag. And Cragen trying to break through. Here it comes. 1 lap to go. Cragen into 1 and 2. Has the lead momentarily. Pillis coming right back up. Cragen breaks through. Down the back straightaway. A half a lap remaining. Through turns 3 and 4. Pillis and Cragen. And this time the checker will go to Chargin' Charlie Cragen.
An unbelievable win for Chargin' Charlie Cragen, and a very important one as well. Also a very important second place finish for Steve Pillis, who holds off Glenn Galt at the line for 3rd.
Tim Ice also getting in their 5th place position, so he continues the chase track points. But the charging one in Victory Lane will be back after this. Crashes, crashes, and more crashes. Have you ever wondered where you can see all the mishaps from Jennerstown Speedway? Well, look no further, as we've come up with the ultimate. Jennerstown Speedway's Madcap Mishaps and Mayhem. It's a potpourri of some of the wildest short track miscues imaginable. In our quest to bring you all the excitement, we've searched over 900 hours of production quality video to bring you spins, fires, loose wheels, totaled cars, flips,